Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and how are you today? Hope you're all doing well. Your host of this channel, Kevin's here. Full of beans again. What's happening? I got about 3 or 4 things to chat about. So, first thing I want to show you something, okay? This is the date tree that I planted, and since it's been in the ground, this guy's popped up. So it's got a new branch opening up. Cool, huh? So, I don't know about this year. Maybe next or 2-3 years, but get some dates. But look at this frangipani. Isn't that beautiful? So the garden is coming on really nice. I'm very happy with it. Let me go sit over here in the swing. It's a little bit windy, so we'll sit over here with my face to the wind so you don't get so much noise in the camera. Okay? So last night I was watching some videos, and I seen Simon. I forget his title. Not Simon is Land of Smiles, I think he's called. And he was, walking around the lake and talking about lots of people he knows and friends who are saying they can't live here very well because they don't have enough money. Well, I don't want to be rude or anything, but if you can't afford to live here, you can't afford to live anywhere. You think how much it costs to live in the US or the UK. So he mentioned the sum of money that people say they can't live on. Well, I live on it, the same money, very easily. And if you remember in some of my videos, I hope this wind's not too bad. You should be okay from your angle. I'm always talking about being sticky and keeping your money in your pocket. Well, why do you think I do that? Because I don't have $5,000 or $10,000 per month to live on. I live on my green clothes pension until another 18 months. I worked in America, so I'll get a pension from there. Not big, but it'll be a supplement. And when I get to 66 for UK, I'll get a pension from there. So, in another 2.5 years, I'll get my British pension, which no, 1.5 years? 64? 2.5 years. I'll get my English pension. So, but for now, I'm living very easy. Yesterday I went out to buy a new stovetop. The typical ones you get here in Thailand, because my other one, it had the infrared burner and it burnt through. It blew a hole in it a while back, so I only had 2 rings, which is plenty for what I do. But I just thought, hey, if I see one on discount, I'll get one. So I went out to Senna, to that Lumpet or something it's called, where they buy stuff from the big stores like Tops and Big C, Tesco, and they stock their shelves with it. So they get a lot of Western canned goods and bottles and things like olive oil, and today I bought some olives. So, you can get all kinds of different things there. You have to be smart and know your prices, because sometimes it's not really worth it. But I found yesterday I found a stovetop. So this morning I cleaned my kitchen area where I keep it, so it's all nice and clean, and I put the new stovetop on, and the left burner didn't work. It was locked. You couldn't turn it on. So I drove back there today, and they were more than happy to swap it out. They said, test it, make sure it works before you go. So I did that, and they said, any more problems, please come back. Wow. So you just have to be a little bit smart, which leads me into my next topic. I've told you this before, I don't come from this place. I wasn't designed to be here, and you might think I'm a nut, but I'll tell you, if we sat down and had a nice cup of tea, I could explain the whole thing and you would understand. But while I'm here on this planet, living in this earth suit, I have to adopt myself to live here. And I've always been interested in survival, ever since a kid. Building tents, building forts, I did it since I was a kid, and I never stopped. I joined the green clothes and did the same thing. I'm going to move over to next to the waterfall just in case it's too windy. There, come down the river. It's quiet here. and no wind. Well, a little bit. So I'm hiding as best I can. So what is my point? My point is, you know, if you're okay, that's the best I can do for hiding. I'm down by the river. So, you know, if you have a can of beans, you don't need to throw half of it out. You can put the other half in the fridge. But, you know, I can talk all day about all this stuff, but that's not the point. Look at this. If you get £1,000 a month, okay, to live on in Thailand, that's equivalent, so I'm told, to what an engineer makes. So you should be able to live on what an engineer makes here in Thailand. But if you go to a village and you say, how much does a local person live on? You know, they'll buy like a bottle of fish sauce, a bottle of oyster sauce, you know, a bag of rice for 200 baht, or you can get it for 60 baht. You know, $2 you can buy a big crazy bag of rice. But if you want something that's a little bit different, then you spend a little bit more. But to say you cannot live on £1,000 a month, then what are you doing with your money? You know, I don't understand. I'm not trying to be nasty to anybody, but come on. It's like I remember when I was in the army, I always carried a knife when we were on exercise, and this knife I had was a British Army issued knife, and that bad boy was like a razor blade. It was so sharp, and I could shave with it. And people say, "Can I borrow your knife?" I say, "Yes," and they say, "No, I want to take it over there." I said, "No." "Oh, why not?" I said, "Because it's my knife. If you want to use it here. I'm not lending you it to take it away." Because what happens, oh, I forgot to give you it back, I lost it. And they stick it in their pocket. I'm without a knife. They have my knife. So you have to think and engage your brain. And for somebody my age saying you cannot live on 1,000 baht a month, something's wrong. You know, if you can't afford beer, then don't drink it. If you can't afford whiskey, then don't drink it. If you can't afford to go out partying every night, then don't do it. Buy what comes first? You know, Maslow's theory of hierarchy. What comes first? You need clean drinking water. You need food and shelter. Once all that's paid for, then the rest is you know, the rest is cream. It's so, which leads me on to the next subject, is that, you know, we're living in this time where we have this, you know, coronavirus. Whether you believe in it or not is not the point. It's still a survival situation. You know, you have to build your immune system. How do you build your immune system? You know what's funny? One of the best ways to build your immune system is to be in the sun. And how many times have you heard people say, stay out of the sun, it's bad for you? What? Why are they saying, you know, for my age group, we always used to be in the sun. And then, like, when I was like 40 or something, you always hear people say, stay out of the sun, it's bad for you. It could do this, give you skin cancer. Yes, but you also get vitamin D, right? Vitamin D, which builds your immune system. There's a lot that goes on in this world that I disagree with, and I don't voice it. I don't have a political opinion that I share with people. But one thing I do is how to stay alive, you know? That's not political, that's not nothing. It's how to stay alive. And, you know, I think if you can't budget yourself to stay alive, that's your problem. You have to research it and learn how to do it. How to make food that's healthy in your budget. So, you know, in this day and age, there's a lot to worry about. But you know something? A couple of days ago, I got this like epiphany that said, why are you worrying about anything? I used to think that my opinion was going to help change the world as a collective. But guess what? I don't care anymore. I don't have anything to say to anybody about anything. You know, I used to curb my opinion so people would, you know, not get offended. But guess what? If you want my opinion, I'm going to tell you it. And if it offends you, that's your problem, not mine. I don't mean to offend anybody. You know, I want to live happily ever after, alone or with somebody, whatever. But there comes a time where you just got to say, you know, and that's where the survival situation comes in. You know, you got to be like a gray man and maneuver through this life and enjoy it the best you can. So now I just say, keep your head down, do what you have to do, be that gray man, live your life and be happy. And I spend my time now learning how Kevin can be happy. And that's more important to me, because when you're happy, your body releases endorphins, which keeps you healthy. So if you want to listen to a silly old wise man, budget and be happy. Keep your opinions to yourself. And I focus more now on being happy than anything. I don't care about nothing anymore. So that's my 2 pennies. And I hope if it can help somebody, it does. And just remember, you are very important. You know, one of the other things that we forget in the West is we need, you know, being isolated is one of the worst things for some people. For me, I love it. You know, in the ideal world, I would love to have a family that cared about me and I cared about them, but that didn't happen. So I'm not worried, I'm happy. I'm happy just the way I am. So I hope you guys are all happy, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I wish you buckets of blessings and rivers of peace, joy, and kindness. And 10,000 blessings. All the very best. Be healthy, guys. Look after yourselves.